Letters. Ray to Shirl. April 9th, 1945. From Florida, Ray writes, Ahoy, sweetheart! Yesterday I was muchly stinko. I was mad at everyone, including you and even myself. I hadn't heard a single word from any of my family in over 2 weeks. That doesn't give me a very pleasant feeling. I can put up a fight against anything in this world except silence. I'm completely beaten when you don't write. I start thinking along the long track and then I blow off steam. That's what I did in that letter. I sent a telegram today asking you to send it back, unopened. I hope you did. If you read it, you will probably have a few comments to make. Don't ever make me write another one. No matter what the circumstances, there's no excuse for over 2 weeks, no letter from you. I just can't see it. How about it, a little more often? Oh hell, let's skip the whole thing. God, I can imagine what a jolly mess it must be at Edith's. The kids alone could create an earthquake, but toss Ed and Dan together on top of it and you have a situation. All this in heaven too? What's this stuff about your whole life being changed? An idea occurs to me as to what it's all about, and if it's what I think, it concerns me too. How about slipping me a whisper in the lowdown? Maybe we can compare notes and work things out. I'm quite a plotter. If it doesn't concern me, let me know anyway. I am nosy. How was it when you were over to the penthouse for dinner? Did they plan our whole life out? Were you given plenty of advice? I hope it was different from this. Hey, if I do get leave, how about staying at my house for the time I'm home? I'll give you my room. I couldn't stand 10 spectators. I'd be afraid to look at you gleamishly. I'll bet you could positively petrify your pop with an old-fashioned letter. I'd like to write one. Let me know if it's okay with you. Wouldn't it be swell if we could get Mabel and our pop together and go out on a toot? Of course, Adeline and Mr. Mabel might frown on it, but it sounds good anyway. Something told me to hold the letter up for a day, so I did. This morning I got up pretty early and just smoked around. I didn't feel very happy. I missed you pretty much. I got slicked up and strolled out to the highway. I flipped a coin to find out where I was going. It came out north, so I ended up in West Palm. Something told me that this is my last trip there, so I did some reliving. I walked out to the Carmichaels and went down on the island. I guess no one was home. Then back to the South Bridge across to Palm Beach. I walked along the lake to the road that runs to Worth Avenue. The blue and pink houses still look swell. I checked the Royal Palms again to make sure they weren't cement. I went around the corner and admired the lacquer and garage doors at the house next to the Everglades Club. Do you remember that liquor store in the corner of Via Penscar? It had a bar in the back and opens early Sundays for the unwell. I had 2 bourbons and a ginger there and killed time looking in the windows until the alibi opened. 2 more there and then to Taboo. I relived what we said and what we did when we were there. After Taboo, I walked up to Shangri-La and had a whiskey sour, then to Montmartre for a daiquiri. Just for fun, I went to O'Hara's bar and had a drink there. It wasn't so hot. Then I went across the street to the show and saw Music for Millions. It was swell. Hey, Larry Adler was in it. After the show, I went to Casablanca and had a hamburger with french fries and 2 bottles of beer. I was getting nervous by then because I knew it was almost the end. I walked pretty slowly down to the ferry boat and got on. This is a payoff, honey. I'd given anything if you could have been there. On the boat, there was a guitar player. He was middle-aged and his clothes were pretty worn but clean. He played all across the lake. His hair was blowing in the breeze and he looked so contented. Just before the boat pulled up to the West Palm dock, he started to play Aloha. That's how I left Palm Beach, darling. It was evening and a swell breeze was coming over the lake. As I walked away, I heard Aloha Oi getting softer. I'll never go back again without you. I couldn't. I enjoyed myself, but not because I was having fun. I guess it was because I was pretty close to you then. Whatever happens, let's stick together. Maybe we'll always have disagreements and misunderstandings, but let's always come out together. I stopped at the telegraph office before I came back to Boca. It's a good thing I didn't know how to get in touch. I tried to call your house, but I couldn't get a line. I got back here at 9 and really felt like writing. Here's $1 for Eddie. That should last him a good 37 minutes. I'm having trouble finding a sailor hat for him, but I'll keep trying. Give my love to your mom and tell her to keep her chin in the wild blue yonder. I hope everything gets straightened out about Ed one way or the other. Good night, sweetheart. In spite of my blow-ups, I spent about 999 out of 1,000 of my life being pretty much in love with you. Listen closely to the words to My Heart Sings. I wish I could have said them to you that way. All my love, Ray.